Hello, my name is Taylor Tomljanovich, and this is my video on parent-teacher conferences. So the age that I would be working with would be age 5. And so one of the purposes of a conference is to provide a developmental overview of the whole child. So little instances are possibly talked about each day. Maybe when you see Jimmy's mom across the schoolyard, you might tell her that Jimmy swung on the swings all by himself today, but a complete look at the child's development is not possible without at least a brief or without a less brief encounter. It is important to note that test results and academic process is a part of their development, but that it should not be the focus. It should also be mentioned how the child is doing with his or her peers and his or her physical development. And then conferences allow parents to move past daily specifics to an objective examination of the child's total development. And then our next goal is to provide time and privacy. So conferences give uninterrupted blocks of time and the atmosphere of privacy, which are two essential parts of helping parents feel comfortable sharing information. So regardless of if the teacher is willing and wanting to talk to the parents on a day-to-day basis, the demands of taking care of the group of children is always most likely going to pull a teacher away from talking to the parent. So knowing that they have time for just those 2 or 3 to talk about their child and only their child, and having the teacher's undivided attention is important for parents. Privacy is also important. Most likely a parent's not going to want to talk right in front of their child about the issues that the child might be having, or they might not want other parents or students to overhear what they're saying. So it's a needed time to be with the teachers and parents and discuss issues between them in a safe space where they know it will not go anywhere else. So the conference will be no longer than 30 minutes slots, because I feel like if you have covered everything, they could be free to leave early, but for those of them that might need a little extra time, I'd like to have it open for them. Also, it's not necessarily going to be possible for everyone to drop whatever they're doing and only come for like a 15-minute slot. So I feel like if you at least have 30 minutes, like they might feel a little bit more like it's worth their time. But then if it goes too long, then it might be confusing for the parents, or it might be hard for them to be doing something for or having stuff to talk about for that long. So I think 30 minutes is a good in between, where it's like not too long, but it's not too short. And then so I would begin by having a positive attitude and showing them my positive comments, and make sure that it's known that their child is doing things well and some things not as well. But it is important to not just focus on the negatives. Like, how would you like going into a conference talking about your child where all the teacher did was tell you how awful your child is? That wouldn't be good and would be exhausting to the parent. So if effort is shown, it should be recognized, even if the student does not get it right every time. So one way that I might help parents feel at ease is by letting them know that they're not alone and that they're able to come to me or call me at any time. I would encourage the parents' participation. I would do this by using active listening, and I would make sure that I'm listening to what they're saying and then reflecting back the message to make sure that I am understanding it. Because if you do not do that, it is very possible that things could get misconstrued or that they might be misunderstood. And so active listening is a great way to just make sure that you're both on the same page. And it's very important to give your full attention to the parents, making sure that you're not distracted or that it is not one-sided, and that I am listening as much as I am talking. So it would not be fair to just talk for the whole 30 minutes and then not have any time to reflect or ask them what they think. It's just as important to have their voices heard because they're around their child many hours of the day. Then I would make sure to give them copies of all of the assessment tools and make sure that they're aware of all of the things that are happening, all of the anecdotal notes and stuff like that. They could have copies of anything that I think is relevant to their development. And then I would finish by asking the parents if they have any questions or concerns. I would make sure that they know that everything that they say is in this room and it stays in this room. And I would thank them for coming out and giving me their time, and make sure that they have my contact information if they have any more questions or concerns or anything like that. And then I would make sure that they're aware that they are able to contact me whenever they're needed to schedule another conference or just to check up on their child. So yeah, that's how I would do it.